What is up, everyone? Happy Monday and welcome to Now Next Never, our show about what's happening now, what's happening next, or what may never happen in the world of finance, business, all the things. We got you covered. I'm Nicole Casperson, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts Delano and Zaid Admani. Guys, how's it going? How are we feeling? I'm feeling hyped. It's Monday, the start of a fresh week, so anything can really happen. Zaid, what's happening today?
Yeah, what's up, guys? We're going to cover three big stories today. Larry Fink, the BlackRock CEO, weighs in on crypto. We're going to talk about that. The Department of Justice, the DOJ, pulls the rug out from under NFT scammers. And then finally, Metaverse Fashion Week just wrapped up. But will more luxury brands make the cut next year? Delano, before we get into those stories, what do the people got to do first?
Zaid and Nicole, what's up? And what's up to all of you watching at home? We're going to unpack all those topics and what it means for you and your money. But before we get into that, make sure you like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And hit that notification button so you know every time we're going live, because getting into those topics right this second. We'll start with the first one right about now. All right, guys, is cryptocurrency ready for mass adoption? BlackRock's Larry Fink seems to think so. The BlackRock chairman noted that one of the less discussed aspects of the Ukraine-Russia conflict is its potential impact on accelerating digital currencies. And for those of you who don't know, BlackRock is an asset manager with nearly 10 trillion assets under management. Yes, that's trillion with a T. And so Fink wrote a shareholder letter, and he noted that one of the areas of digital currency, one of the aspects that's less discussed, is cross-border payments. So with BlackRock, a large asset manager, now talking about cryptocurrency in their shareholder letters, guys, does this bode well for potential mass adoption to the masses for cryptocurrency, Nicole?
My first instinct is to talk about that Larry Fink must not spend a lot of time on Twitter. I mean, I don't think he has one, so clearly he doesn't, because this is definitely a huge discussion since the war has begun. I feel like it's been one of the biggest finance discussions is the role of cryptocurrency in all of this. So yes, when someone as influential as Larry Fink says digital assets have potential, then yes, that does set this benchmark for the rest of the industry that could help, more financial advisors, more institutional investors get comfy with allocating crypto assets to client portfolios. So interestingly, this time last year, Morgan Stanley became the first Wall Street bank to offer its wealthier clients access to Bitcoin. Goldman Sachs quickly followed suit. So, there just might be this ramped up pressure for other financial institutions to start, really looking at crypto as a viable asset class. So, we'll see. It's all talk right now. He said like one thing, and it's making headlines as it does because he's Larry Fink. But we got to see some action. So, I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Actions speak louder than words. Obviously, what Larry Fink and BlackRock say is relevant and important because they got $10 trillion to mess around with, right? Like Nicole says, if other big banks and other investment managers are offering the ability to invest in crypto, like BlackRock doesn't want to lose their clients to Morgan Stanley or Goldman Sachs. So they're going to offer something in crypto if that's what their client wants. And that to me is what this is. Obviously, it's exciting for us normal, for like crypto holders to hear like these like legacy legacy companies get even mention this. Yeah. But to me, it doesn't really mean anything until something actually happens.
His clients are saying, hey, we want some trading options in cryptocurrency. And so that's probably one of the bigger reasons. But it is a big deal in my mind because of the fact that you both mentioned they're a huge asset manager. Someone that's a huge asset manager that has the potential to possibly move markets. They're going to get people's ears perked up when they start talking about cryptocurrency. I don't know if this is their first mention, but it's something worth noting when BlackRock is talking about cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I mean, it's arguably, like the largest institution and biggest name, right, to say this. What do folks like to call him? Like the president of money or something? Like literally. So yeah, but we'll see, because actions speak louder than words, Larry Fink. So
yeah, absolutely. And so, but to answer your question, as far as does this mean this is mainstream adoption of crypto? Nah, this doesn't mean that at all. I think this just means that more rich people want to invest in crypto, and BlackRock's going to cater to their clients. But anyways, moving on from talking about crypto and Big Larry to talking about NFTs and rug pulls. 2 men were arrested for conducting an NFT rug pull. Now, obviously, we want to make sure that we're going to talk about how not to get rug pulls from NFTs. But these two dudes created a very popular NFT project, the Frosties. They got arrested by the DOJ, Department of Justice, for conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. This is some serious charges, guys. Like, these dudes did a $1.1 million rug pull. So it's not just a small amount. We're talking 7 figures here. Now, if you thought that it was okay to commit fraud and Web3 and NFTs, this is a clear indication from the government, from the Department of Justice, that they're not messing around. And I think hopefully this will result in less rug pulling moving forward. But guys, I'm not an NFT expert, right? I want to hear your take, Delano and Nicole. Give the people some tips on how not to get rug pulled from projects like this.
Yeah, Zaid, I couldn't claim to be an NFT expert. I hold, what, 5, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 NFTs. But I do think that we should all get educated on, how to invest in these projects and not eliminate our risk, but do some stuff to manage our risk. And I think that's one of the big things that people will have to learn. You can't eliminate it, but you can manage your risk. Now, it all just comes down to good old due diligence. That's the process of researching what you're investing in. And to me, a golden rule that I use, but you don't have to use it, is the investment amount that you do is proportionate to how much you're investing. So if you're going to invest a lot of your own personal capital into something, you probably want to do a lot of research. And one of the things you can do when it comes to like NFT projects is to research the people that are doing the project, the founding team, the developers, right? And if they're anonymous, that's okay, but they have to give some sort of context or background on where they came from. They just can't pop up with a new social media profile and say, hey, we're doing an NFT project. Like, they have to have some sort of background in my mind before I feel comfortable. Another thing I think you could do is look at like their whole social media following, their trail online. If they have just a few social media followers on, like, say, Twitter, but they have a Discord that has a lot of like weird populated people in the Discord that they didn't even know existed prior, that might be some sort of red flag for you to follow. So I think a lot of this goes on to researching the founding team. You can do some different things in the project itself and the roadmap they lay out for after the project, guys. Like, what are they going to do after that? If it's really sparse, doesn't have a lot of information, that might be another red flag, Nicole, of something that would perk your ears up saying, I don't know just about this just yet.
Yeah, I had to do some of my own research as well, and ran into our creator friend Humphrey Yang. He's huge.
Shout out.
Shout out to Humphrey and all of his content. Amazing work there. Definitely check him out. But he shared a couple preventative measures, which I think are important too. So just like Delano said, the red flags, it's also important to look at 2 main things. Number one, maybe thinking about staying closer, and this is something that I do too, to the top 100 cryptos by market caps, and avoiding kind of smaller coins, because that can just like lend itself to more scams. It's easier, right, for fraudsters to get their hands on those smaller coins and be more manipulative there. But I don't have a crystal ball, but that's just one tip. The number 1 sign though of a good project, according to Humphrey, is liquidity lockup, which basically is when a new token should be locked by a third party. And there are websites out there that you can Google that help with that. And so basically a token lockup means a time period when holders of the crypto project are not able to sell their tokens. So if it's locked by a third party, the developer can't just decide to pull out any of that liquidity. So that's kind of where that safety net lies. The timeline should be, according to Humphrey, roughly a few months or even years. So the longer timeline, the more safe it is. But at the end of the day, scams are across all types of investment vehicles, and it's not just NFTs, it's not just crypto or digital assets. It happens with regular currency, diamonds, gold, all the time. Fraudsters are out there, and they're evil. But at the end of the day, the biggest tip you can do to protect yourself from NFT scams is to just remain skeptical. Google is your friend. When you're girls, when your like best friend is like upset about her boyfriend, and you got to go research him on Google to make sure that he isn't some scum or whatever. Same thing. Do that with your investment vehicles and your own money. You got to protect yourself just like you would to your best friend.
Great tips, guys. That's a very great comparison you made there, Nicole. Great tips. I think this is one of the reasons why, like, I think crypto and NFTs still have a bit of a ways to kind of before they become mainstream, right? Because we're still kind of dealing with this stuff. We're still kind of dealing with scams, and obviously scams happen across every single platform. But I'm trying to be fair and balanced here. So like that's one of the reasons why NFTs are still kind of like this underground thing and not full on mainstream yet, because of rug pulls and because of scams like this that are happening. And kind of going off script here a little bit, I thought this was very interesting, the way these guys were caught. A lot of people talk about how like crypto is used for like money laundering and this and that. Well, the way these guys got caught was because you can't hide your transactions on the blockchain. I mean, it's all public, right? These guys are moving money from one wallet to another wallet to their Coinbase. Boom, Coinbase has your information. These dudes got caught, and the DOJ got them, right? So I think that's actually like a narrative that continues to be in crypto, like, oh, you're using it for like sketchy things. It's actually really easy to get caught if you start doing some sketchy stuff because it's all public on the public ledger.
It's supposed to be the most like transparent, right?
Exactly.
Like chain technology, and then people are like trying to get sneaky with it. That is a really good point.
Yeah, exactly. So I wonder if that narrative will change here because again, if you try to do something sketchy on the blockchain, people are following your every transaction, and you will get caught. But anyway, that's kind of going off a tangent.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens there. But kind of thinking of something else that could become mainstream is Metaverse Fashion Week. It is here. Well, it happened. So the big question, though, are luxury brands embracing the metaverse? According to Decentraland, which kicked off Metaverse Fashion Week with NFT collections in the blockchain-based virtual world, aka Web3. Basically, it works by visiting the Metaverse Fashion Week website and connecting an Ethereum wallet, or you can just play around as a guest. But anyone was able to experience Metaverse Fashion Week. Very cool. Brands such as Estée Lauder, Tommy Hilfiger, Dolce Gabbana, and Forever 21 participated. For me, I'm 100% for anything that opens up equity or brings equity to financial systems or any system like the world of fashion. I think fashion is probably an institution that's even more exclusive than the traditional financial systems. So, this definitely feels like the entire idea of bringing Fashion Week to Web3. We know that when something is digitized, it becomes at least a bit closer to being democratized. So, it comes closer to having more people and a larger amount of people being able to participate in the economy in that way. So, but for me, like I said, big takeaway, big debate here is, will these luxury brands who have really been traditionally coveted for their exclusivity continue to be cool with this democratization of like their brand to more people via digital assets? Or, are they going to keep embracing this Metaverse Fashion Week? Or is this just kind of like, it's trendy right now, next year we go back to like not doing this?
Can I take this first, Delano? I know it's a little bit off script.
Of course, Zaid.
What you said, Nicole, earlier kind of resonated with me a little bit. I don't think these fashion brands want to be inclusive and get everybody on board. I think they still want to I think they only want to get rich people buying their stuff, and even in the metaverse, right? They don't want to normal people to buy their stuff and kind of devalue their brand. What they're just trying to do is meet these higher income people where they're hanging out next, which they think is the metaverse, and they can sell them a $4,000 digital version of a Gucci bag or whatever, and they want to make money that way because it doesn't cost anything to make that digital Gucci bag, and it's 0% it's costs nothing to make a replica of that and sell it to somebody else for $3,000 or $4,000. So I don't think this is an inclusive play. This is a money play. They want to make more money, and they cost them nothing to make all these digital products. And as long as they don't go crazy with it, as in they're gonna spend making too many of these digital products, they will, I think, continue maintaining that brand that they've built over the last 50, 100 years.
So they could still be super exclusive even in a digital world, which I think about, which is a good point. And then I also think about how, so maybe it's almost like a little bit more marketing play, right? To be like, oh, we're inclusive, but really not. And then, imagine though, if NFTs could be presented on an Instagram, right? Where a lot of these brands really show off kind of their very high-end and luxe products. So there's that's an interesting connection there.
Yeah, I don't know, because can they keep that amount of exclusivity in the digital world? That's actually a question that I have, because if you think about it, the example you mentioned, Zaid, that Gucci bag, it was actually bought in Roblox, right? And it was through Robux. It was 350,000 Robux that you could generate, I guess, on the game, right? Which is roughly $4,115. And that same person in real life cost $3,400. But how did that person generate the Robux? Is it presumably by playing a game? It wasn't because of the money they generated in real life. So if
you can buy those too. You can buy those Robux too.
Yes, and you can buy them too. So they could be diluting themselves here if there's other ways to generate Robux or to generate, some sort of other digital virtual currency and be able to buy real good digital goods in the metaverse. You're at some point you could be diluting yourself. I believe you're right. They want to keep that exclusivity, but when you're jumping into every area where you can sell your goods, you're undoubtedly, in my mind, going to lose your exclusivity because people will find ways to purchase said goods, right? Like, I mean, there's got to be some sort of thing there where they're kind of diluting themselves, I feel like.
I mean, inventory management has been something that these guys spend a lot of money on. I mean, I've been seeing TikToks and videos and articles about like all these luxury brands used to burn their extra inventory because they didn't want it to go out into the world, which obviously is really bad for the environment. They can do the same thing as far as like inventory management in the digital world as well. I think they can. I think they got to be very careful with that. And the other part of all this is like, imagine if they sell a digital product of whatever, like a purse or an outfit. Maybe it's less than what it costs in real life, but if someone buys it in the metaverse, there might be a higher chance that they try to go buy it in real life because that's just how it's going to be. Our metaverse lives are going to be mirrors of our real life, real world lives. And I just think there's a lot of upside for these brands here, and I just think they're going to continue to embrace it.
It's not going to be mirrors. I feel like I'm toned down in real life. In my metaverse life, Zaid, Nicole, I'm wearing Gucci, Fendi. I don't even know what the brands are. I'm going to be rocking all of that stuff. In real life, you won't catch me wearing it, though.
I'll be just like branded out in the metaverse.
Dripped out completely.
Dripped out, yeah. But I really like the like kind of focus you have there, though, Zaid. And it's one that I didn't even think about when we were talking about the story, right? Is like you can still very much target the wealthy in the metaverse, right? Like someone has to have a decent amount of wealth to like pay however much money that was to like have real estate next to Snoop Dogg.
Right.
You know that guy's spending a lot of money on like a Gucci bag for his like significant other or whatever. Like who knows?
Right.
So anyways, it's just future predictions there. But all right, I could talk about this all day, but we are going to move on to Now Next Never, where we talk about some headlines that you should be paying attention to as well. Delano, what's happening right now?
Right now, Zaid and Nicole, are you guys bored and hungry? You're not
Yes.
bored because you're watching Now Next Never, but you might be hungry. So guess what? Now there's a restaurant just for you. According to reports, a Los Angeles restaurateur, Andy Nguyen, is now opening up a very first restaurant based on Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. And he's using, he's using his rights as an NFT owner. I think he owns about 2 to 3 NFTs. So he has intellectual property rights, and he has the ability to use their brand to open up this restaurant, which is a real world currency, and I think real world food, obviously. So this is something that we're seeing the actual ways that NFTs, obviously in a digital and virtual world, can translate to our real world life. I think that the restaurant's supposed to be based in Long Beach or something of that nature, but I don't know. Would you guys check it out? Would you guys eat there? If we were holders, let's say I'm not a holder, but if we were holders, would we go? I don't know.
There's real food involved. I get confused sometimes. When
Yes.
I get so confused.
Real food. Real
like,
burgers and fries.
NFT, like remember the Wingstop story with like NFT like wings? I was like, I don't understand this, and now I just want to go get Wingstop that I don't have here in Bushwick. But like, yeah, if there's real food involved, sign me up. Yes,
I'd go check it out.
hungry
for sure,
and bored.
Yeah, I'd go check it out for sure.
Oh my gosh, so interesting. Well, we'll see how that pans out. A lot going on there with the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Well, I have next, so our girl Riri could be taking her Fenty empire to the metaverse as well. There's like no end to the metaverse fun. According to a report from Boardroom, Rihanna has filed a new trademark application indicating that she will offer virtual cosmetics and hair care products under her Fenty brand. We don't have a lot of details yet. The reports mainly just kind of note that she has trademarked the name in the metaverse, so that could be happening next. I mean, wings, I'm a little less excited about, but you know, some interaction with Fenty and Riri in the metaverse, I could be game.
That would be pretty cool. Virtual cosmetics, that's the next hot trend. I got a story that we've been dying to talk about this entire show.
It's the metaverse.
No. Never, right? Never expected Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars last night. Guys, look, I wasn't watching the Oscars live. All right, I wasn't watching it live. I don't watch the Oscars, right? But when this thing happened, my phone blew up. Everything just multiple text messages like, what's going on? Is this real? And I am just a weirdo and went on a deep dive. Put my daughter to sleep last night and went on a deep dive of like watching this clip over and over again at multiple angles in slow-mo, figuring out like, did Chris Rock actually like embrace for the impact? How did his chin hold up? How did he not go unconscious? I was going crazy with this stuff. The memes have been crazy. I'm not picking sides, y'all. I'm saying the memes have been crazy. I've been laughing. And it's just, it's a Will Smith, Chris Rock fest right now on Twitter and everywhere on the internet for the last 12 hours or so.
It's still trending,
Oh my
and
God.
like things like on Twitter, things like staged You know, like some people think it was staged. I don't know. So like for me, I thought it was staged when I first saw it because you're like you said, Will Smith is a big dude. And that looked like a really hard smack. And Chris Rock just took it like it was nothing. Like he just like went, whoa, and then completely unfazed, nothing. Like if Will Smith smacked you, I mean, I know if it were happened to one of us, like we'd probably all at least fall like a little. Like the fact that he didn't have any like real impact, like
he just
the winner of the whole evening, like Chris Rock's jaw.
Yes.
Trending on Twitter.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we don't condone violence, but it was a very crazy clip to see that. It was shocking to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, probably something that could have been handled backstage and without the violence as well. That's kind of the part that was a little unfortunate there, but it's hard to see if like maybe Will Smith was just like over exaggerating the slap and it sounded and looked a lot worse than it really, was. But either way, we probably shouldn't be slapping others on any time, especially on TV. But anyways, all right, well, super excited to hear what all of you think about all of the things we talked about. We talked about a lot of interesting stuff today. Most importantly, the slap heard around the world. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That is the end of our show on this Monday. I hope you have a great rest of your week. But hey, we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Tune in every day and remember to like and subscribe and be sure to hit that notification button. See you tomorrow.